Back to the beginning today with the Eachine E33W. This is a camera quad, and the camera angle can be adjusted. Comes down a fair bit. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to point it pretty much straight flat, because when we're flat, I've tested this and the picture actually doesn't, the vehicle doesn't get in the picture, so that's good. Looks like we've got 6mm or 6.5mm brushed motors in there. Got some pretty beefy props on this. The unit is light, and I think that will bode well for our flight time. And then we have a controller here. You see I have my cell phone set up here so that you can possibly get a view of what the cell phone picture looks like from the Wi-Fi camera. This button up here says video in the instructions, but I found it does nothing. This one is one key return and or lights. I'm not sure which just yet. Calibration is down and to the right, and we'll do that before we fly. And then we have our rate button up here at the top, and then we have our flips and rolls over here on this side. These buttons are for trim. To get the application set up on your phone, you'll need to download the app that's listed in the instruction sheet. Then you'll need to turn on your quad, connect to the Wi-Fi that you see there. It'll be UFO listed, and then you bring up the application, which they generally all look the same. And you also will note that the app gives you the ability to fly the vehicle by tilting the phone. I don't suggest you actually use that. If you want to try it out, it's a fun thing, but be careful because there is a delay and it can lead to crashes. There's also delay on the Wi-Fi. It's not like you find with drone racing. It is a little bit greater than that. So flying with just the FPV view is going to be a challenge if you're flying fast forward. If you're kind of hovering about, you might be fine. I'm going to get all set up and then we'll get going. One I did forget to mention, there's an on-off switch here, and the camera slides in from the back. You see my wire out here. This is our antenna, and the camera bay has the battery inside, and this is a 300 milliamp per hour battery. It's got the micro low-C connector, and I found that a number of my batteries do fit that are 300 milliamp. So if you have extra lipos with this connector and they're 300 mAh, they will likely fit. Okay, hopefully you can see that. This is what the application currently looks like. And if I take the vehicle, I got it pointed the wrong way here. Hopefully you can see this. Let me get it over here in a little bit of a darker area, and you get an idea of the delay. Camera angle is fairly narrow, and white props are to the front. We're all bound up. You bind by turning on the vehicle first, turn on your remote second, and then throttle up and down. Let's take it for a flight. Let's go. Got virtually no wind today. For some reason, it is wanting to come back to me for some reason. Let's trim it out just a touch. Big bird off in the scene. I wonder what that is. Bring it in close, we'll get a look at the rates. See a little touchdown there. I'm standing back a bit because we have all this construction. But this is on our default rates, which is the lowest rate. Pitch and roll, look at those real quick. Now bring it back to us, we'll get a look at the yaw rate. Pretty slow on the yaw rate, so then we hit this button. 2 beeps, we're on the second rate. Looks like the roll rate does increase, and the pitch rate increases too. The yaw rate went up a little bit, but not a lot. This does not have altitude hold. Now we'll press the button again. 3 beeps, so we're in our highest rate. Our pitch and roll rates have increased. Hopefully you can see that. And now the yaw rate, I've tried this and it can get kind of out of hand. See how it gets faster and faster? Okay, I'm going to take some video here now. It's red on the screen showing the record. So let's just fly it around a bit. I'm going to walk out to the street here. I'm seeing that it comes down quite easily on the throttle. The throttle doesn't seem to have full resolution where you have really finite control. But that yaw rate really hasn't gotten me in trouble yet, but it could. Let's check the range. See how it's really going up there? I don't suspect we got a thermal. Better bring it back. Get a picture of the neighbor's house. I think with these, with these motors being just 6mm motors, it'll be fine, but it'll have a hard time spinning those large props even though it's geared. Oh, directly overhead. I have a hard time changing the, see a lot of wobbles there coming down into our own air. Don't see that all the time. So we'll be able to spin up those big props very quickly. Geez, it is, I don't know. It's just me, or, well, there the yaw spun around too much. I'm going to change to the medium rate. See there, I let off the throttle too much and almost bounced it off the ground. We've got blue LEDs in the front and red in the back, so that's good. We always like red in the back, don't we? Still recording. Looks like I got 1:42. And you should be seeing that on your screen in a small box. Just don't think this one, I think this one needs 8mm motors. Those props are a little bit too much, but it does fly fairly well, but it's going to be more of a cruiser, not really a sport flyer. It does come with prop guards, and it also comes with legs. I opted to take the legs off because the legs only protect the motor pods at the bottom where the LED lights are. Now let's do some flips and rolls. Bring it back over here. Okay, so you got to hold the button and the direction. So you gain a little bit of height there. We got a little bit of a rattle. Oh. Okay, so hold the button and forward. Forward flip, it did a little better, I think. Let's bring it back. It's wanting to drift away. Maybe I trimmed it out too much away. So you can hear that beeping tone that we get. Now it's drifting the other way. There, that's better. Let's try forward flight. Well, let's do one more backwards. I think that's hitting the body when it flips. I think we've got too much flex in our props. But it's not knocking it out of the sky. So I'm going to get it over here. I'm going to kind of come in our direction, see if we can do forward flight. Kinda. I don't see LVC yet, so let's try to do some more. I wonder if it's still recording video. Yeah, the self-leveling, it doesn't have enough momentum to carry itself and do forward flight maneuvers with the flip button. You might be able to do manual flips with it. I'm not really good at that, mainly because I've been flying so much FPV. If you're looking at a quad like this, and maybe you've got a few others, you might be interested in some of the other content on my channel. I do a lot with FPV. I have a lot of indoor brushless flyers. I have brush flyers on the channel, and just a number of different vehicles. And that's kind of where I started, right here with this. That's why I said back to the beginning. I had a, whoa, there's a breeze. I had a SEMA X5C that got me started in quadcopters. And I flew it right in this very spot every chance I got. Eventually I wanted to try FPV, and I bought a kit of parts, and I built it up and got myself a pair of goggles. Well, there we go. That's all, folks. I couldn't even see the LVC lights kicking on, but I'm sure it's on now. Well, I don't see where the prop strikes were hitting anything, so maybe I was wrong there. Maybe it's just the noise of the gears when the flips are occurring. that would cause that noise that we were hearing. Better stop my video. Oh, my video did stop. I don't even see flashing batteries. It's almost like the thing is completely dead. Here's something interesting. I don't know if you can see this, but we only get LVC lights here with the red. So that's going to be kind of difficult to see because those aren't really all that bright, and this is kind of a smoke covered plastic, so it's not going to be very bright. The front ones do nothing, as far as I can tell. So that's our LVC. So it didn't turn off. It just went to LVC and landed itself like it should. Okay, that is the Eachine E33W. Pretty good beginner quad. I think if you've got some flying experience, you probably want to look for something a little bit more sporty. If you have any comments or questions, leave those in the section down below. And thanks for watching.